This is the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music on YouTube. The Fort Worth Toros look to lock up the South Division here in Season 22. Looking to go to 8-3 with only one game left on their calendar. The team standing in their way, and with playoff dreams and hopes on the line, it's the Louisiana Revolution. Hello and good evening, folks. I am Tyler Falk. Happy to have you with us here from the Stockyards here in Fort Worth, Texas. Special thanks to Andy Hamilton and Declan O'Rourke and Stats, and Cameron Irvine, our SFL commissioner. Back in studio, I'm joined in the booth by my partner, Brett Solberg here. Brett, Louisiana needs a win, or their playoffs are they're not officially dead, but they might as well be. And for the Fort Worth Toros, they need a win. That locks up the division.
Simply put, it's do or die for Louisiana. Get to that 7th loss, that puts your chances to basically none at this point. And like you said, for Fort Worth, their season has been so impressive, led by that stunning passing offense with Marcus Dunhill and company. They're looking to seal things up at home, so they don't have to worry about potentially going on the road on their last matchup to clinch the division.
The best rushing defense goes up against one of the touted rushing games in the SFL, as here we go from the Stockyards. And here comes the return from Charlie Baker as he tries to get out to the left-hand side, and he is stopped at the 27-yard line, and that is where Marcus Dunhill takes to the field. He has thrown in his last 4 games over 200 yards in 4 consecutive games. He looks to add on to that tally here at home.
Yeah, 19 touchdowns, leads the league amongst quarterbacks, and 12 of them going to his favorite target, Stephen Hacker.
We'll have 2 wide receivers near sides. He looks that direction, tried to fit it over to Hacker to begin the game, and just a little too much air on the football. And let's meet the rest of the Toros offense. Jay-Z Bacon and Charlie Baker are the halfbacks, with Aaron Alexander at fullback. DJ Minson, Stephen Hacker, Cade Stevens, and Legally Nakai are the wideouts. Robert Garrett Jr. and James Jennings are the tight ends. And on the line, it's Emilio Panda at tackle, Frank Burks, and Gordo Enorme at guard. Seven men in the box here for the Revolution as the Toros will try and run near side with Bacon. He gets out of a tackle looking for a block downfield. Jay-Z Bacon, he's trying to spin upfield, and he's eventually taken down near his 47-yard line. A great run here for the Toros.
You know, once upon a time this season, we were talking about Jay-Z Bacon being one of the being the best running back in this league so far. He's kind of slowed things down over the last, I would say, 4 or so weeks, but he's starting to pick things up again. He's still top 10 in yards. He's still second in the league in carries, so I'm not going to be too shocked if we see another 20-piece in terms of carries from Jay-Z Bacon.
He has had 3 games over 100 yards this season, the latest one coming March 17th versus Charleston. And that pass from Dunhill over the middle is hauled in cleanly by Cade Stevens. Another first down on this opening drive for Fort Worth.
Yeah, we talk about how prolific this wide receiver core is for Fort Worth. We talk about guys like Stephen Hacker and E.J. Minson, and Cade Stevens has kind of been, taking, himself out of the spotlight, but he's still an effective receiver. If you need him to get catches, he will give it to you.
Second on the team in terms of average yards per catch with 16.1. That's just behind Hacker at 16.8. And James Jennings at 17 on the team. The top 10 wide receiving core in terms of average yards per catch as Bacon loads up and tries to out-muscle the defender, the middle linebacker, Chuck Diesel, and Diesel's having none of it as we introduce you to Diesel's friends on the Revolution defense. Brian Craven, Gary Burney, and Chance Wall are the defensive linemen, with Slyn Shady, Gary Clem, and Blake McCraze, Chuck Diesel, and Tommy Webbutt-Bussey at linebacker. Evan Arthur, Roman Hood are the corners with Take Bennett, Nathan Blake, Ronnie Shanahan Jr., and Dante Grimm at safety as the pass from Dunhill is complete by Hacker. Another first down as the opening drive for the Toros continues.
Yeah, you mentioned earlier about how they're averaging, well over first down per catch with these wide receivers. Here's one of the reason why. It's just getting in front of your secondary counterparts and making sure that you're a big body so Dunhill can throw it to you. And that is probably one of the best things that Hacker does as a wide receiver, is just use his big body, be imposing in front of those defenders to get the catch.
Dunhill now 2 of 3 on this opening drive. Now inside the 25-yard line. Blitz coming. Dunhill looking middle. Caught again in traffic. E.J. Minson this time hauls it in, and they're in the red zone.
You know, in this season, we haven't talked a lot about 1-2 combos in the league, but you have to argue that Fort Worth has one of the best 1-2 combos in the league with Stephen Hacker, as we mentioned earlier, and E.J. Minson. He does the same thing as Hacker can do, and that's what's resulted in those two being 2 of the top 10 receivers in terms of receptions in the league.
Wideouts again here for Dunhill. I formation set up behind him, and he will run with Bacon, who got a good head of steam and is finally wrapped up near the 3-yard line, a gain of 7.
And the big goal for Louisiana is they need to find a way to get Fort Worth behind the line. They've got the capable people, Chuck Diesel, Gary Clem, the tackler there. We haven't seen much of Slim Shady yet in this drive. You got to get some TFLs on your name.
5 down linemen as they mark Bacon back near the 4, and he tries to get going again. This time it's Charlie Baker on the call, and nothing doing as Louisiana stuffed the middle of the line.
Yeah, and that's what they need to do. A lot of the time that Fort Worth runs that football, actually I would say about a 50-50 split. It's either inside or they kind of stretch things out. But those inside runs, they need to be shored up by the linebackers.
First third down of the game here on play number 9 of the drive. Dunhill, no, couldn't see him. Taken down from behind and from Gary Clem, who gets into the backfield.
Yeah, and one of the downfalls this season for Louisiana has been the lack of quarterback pressure. Just the 11th sack this season, but it's a big one because Fort Worth was really threatening to score 6 on this drive, but Louisiana found a way to kind of shore things up and force a field goal unit in Amelia Rose to kick a 24-yarder.
And out comes Rose. To try and attempt this 24-yarder from near the left hash. Snap, spot, kick is up, and our first points of the ball game go to the Fort Worth Toros after a solid 10-play, 65-yard drive. Nearly 4 minutes taken off the clock to begin the ball game. That means it's Toros 3, Revolution nothing, and the Revs will now get a shot on offense. Following this kickoff from Rose. And taking it out of the end zone. Here comes Chris Grant Jr. all the way up to the 27-yard line. And out trots the signal caller for the Revolution, Tommy Utah. And to say it's just not been his season, Brett, is, well, unfortunately an understatement.
Well, it's not been the season for that entire offense for Louisiana, and we can, pinpoint certain aspects of that game, but the big one, lack of scoring. Dead last in the league, 13.8 points for.
Utah only has 4 passing touchdowns on the season. That will need to change if they want to make a late playoff push. And the opening run outside gains 1 for the Revolution, and let's meet that Louisiana offense. Dwayne Salmons, Chris Grant Jr. are the tailbacks, with Cameron Collier and Noah Scott at fullback. Mike Twinscrew, Adam Banks, Reggio De Niro, and Salvatore Napoli are the wideouts. John Michael Suddeth, Levy Lease, and Tyler Gregory are the tight ends. Odette Bedreau, Ray Lafayette, Cole Katz, and Sergei Katsalov are the linemen. That pass near side, intended for Adam Banks, is broken up by Aiden Davis.
Yeah, and right now, early on, Fort Worth showing their horns defensively, breaking up a pass and not giving much of an opportunity on that first down play to really get Louisiana going. So it's a quick third down, and you have to think to yourself, Tommy Utah is going to throw this ball.
Trips to Utah's right. Now he'll have 2 on either side after sending De Niro in motion toward the near side. 3rd and 9 from the 28-yard line. Utah rolling, looking middle, and that is dropped. Adam Banks had it, but it was knocked out by Remington James, and the Revs go 3 and out to begin the game.
Yeah, not a good omen for things to come if you're a Louisiana fan. A quick 3 and out from this offense who have struggled all season. Just 3 games of 20 points or more from the Louisiana offense is not a good showing so far this season, and it doesn't start well with a 3 and out.
And the punt is away from Vita Lee as the return coming back. It's a good breakout of a tackle from Cade Stevens, but he can't go anywhere further up to his own 42-yard line. That is where Fort Worth will take over. If you're new to the Simulation Football League, welcome. The SFL is football for everyone. Get off a sideline and start your player today by joining our Discord server at simulationfl.net. Click the Join the Community button and begin your career, or just to meet the stars of the SFL on and off the field. It's never too late to get involved. Toros were able to get a field goal on their opening drive. Let's see what they do here on drive number 2. Blitz. Dunhill fires middle, caught spinning away and streaking down the numbers. Here goes Stephen Hacker for his 13th and SFL leading touchdown.
Man, and one spin move is all it takes from Stephen Hacker, the hack attack, to get himself that big touchdown. We talked about this earlier on, how Stephen Hacker can be just a huge threat. A one-on-one battle between what looked to be him and Evan Arthur. That's a tough battle to get in the first place, but just, again, gets in front of his defender and then a smooth, silky spin move to get past him and to the end zone just like that in an instance. Fort Worth up 2 scores.
58 yards from Dunhill to Hacker, and the hack attack is in full display here for all to see. And it's going to be a 10-point lead for the Toros. Just that one play is all the Toros would need, and now they are up by 10. Kickoff is on its way once more. And Chris Grant Jr. will try and get this return taken out a little bit better and gets a good little return from his own end zone, gets all the way up to the 30-yard line. Now the Revolution, they've had themselves some ups and downs over the years here, Brett, and they've gone from 7-5 in season 20 to 6-6 last season, and are trying to at least equal that record this season, but they're going to need to come up with a solid offensive game plan here if they want to do that.
Yeah, it's solid and then some. We haven't seen much productivity from both sides of the ball in terms of running and passing. They need to find that perfect equilibrium, and I think it starts with that pass game, especially now that you're down 10.
Utah will look to pass here on the first down, takes too much time, pumps, and is ripped down for a loss of 5 on the sack. A beautiful takedown from Jerry Degon.
Yeah, and one underrated thing that the Toros do really well in, opposite of Louisiana, is getting to the quarterback. That's the 20th sack for them this season, and it's been spread out by that defensive line very well as another one goes on the board for Jerry D.
6.5 sack on the season for Jerry D. Gund. His 33rd.5 sack of his career. Pass over the middle, meanwhile, is hauled in by John Michael Suddiff, who picks up 6 yards.
Yeah, and it starts with that pass game getting, a little bit more love, and that's how you really do it. And it might not be a big gain in any sorts, but at least it gets the ball rolling for Louisiana. 3rd and 9 coming up.
Utah spreads the field with 4 wide receivers, 4-man rush looking underneath, and Dinero has it. It's only a short pickup of 3 as the offense stalls out again as E.K. Vincent hauls him down, and it's back-to-back 3-and-outs for this Louisiana offense.
Yeah, and that's not how you want to start the game on your first 2 drives is get 2 quick 3-and-outs. But you got to learn to adjust, and you got to have your defense ready to go on this one.
Comes the return. It's a good-looking return. Still going. A third broken tackle from Cade Stevens, and they cross midfield to the 46.
Yeah, this is just the ideal first quarter for Fort Worth. You get your 2 scores in, field goal and touchdown. Now you get the ball back again with about 4 minutes left to go in this quarter, and you've got another chance to just continue to make Louisiana pay in this game. And we're not even 10 minutes in this game.
Toros looking to charge again downfield for another score. First 2 drives, a field goal, and then a 58-yard bomb to Stephen Hacker on just 1 play on the last drive. This already the 5th drive combined for the first quarter in this one, as Bacon gets the call and rolls over Rollman Hood for a gain of 8.
Yeah, and at some point we're going to see a lot of runs either up the gut or stretching to the left from JZ Bacon moving forward, because that's what Fort Worth does. They get that early lead, and then they just try to sustain it by using the run.
3 down linemen, 7 men in the box here for the Revolution as they try and run. The Toros do up the middle, but nothing doing. Fantastic stop up the middle.
Yeah, that's, again, Fort Worth needs to, kind of force Fort Worth in a situation where they need to be one-dimensional and kind of use just that one aspect to try to shut it down, and that might have to be the run game.
Robach. Bussey in there on the stop. It's a pitch play on 3rd down left side. Defense was there, looking for the first down. Can't get it. Bacon denied by Chuck Diesel near the line to gain.
Yeah, right at the first down line. It's so tough to tell. And yeah, very, very close call. And I'm not too surprised that Fort Worth would try to go for it or challenge in this case.
Oh, here we go. Our first challenge of the game. So we will take a retroactive look at the play presented by Retroid. Get your SFL console at goretroid.com. Let's see if Luis Gonzalez's challenge is a good one.
And the big key is where JZ Bacon's hand was at the point of contact to the ground, because that is going to be the deciding factor whether it's going to be a first down or not. I think this is going to stand, and we're going to have 4th and inches.
This is a close one. It is stands. It's 4th and a note card from converting. An excellent challenge. Denied, I should say, and a brilliant tackle. That's the right challenge from Diesel, who did a great job of keeping Bacon from turning effectively. And because the challenge failed, they lost a timeout. Toros are going to try and go for it.
Yeah, and this will be the 10th 4th down conversion that Fort Worth has done this season. Let's see if it pays off.
It's a QB sneak from Marcus Dunhill. It catches Louisiana off guard. Nothing Tank Bennett could do about that one, and they convert on 4th and inches.
A league-leading 7th 4th down conversion of the season for Fort Worth makes it a 70% click rate. I believe there's only one other team that does it better than them in terms of percentage, but no one does it more than Fort Worth.
Under 2.5 to go now in the first quarter. Dunhill is denied again. The Revs get home for the 2nd time tonight. Another sack on the board for the Revolution.
Again, I talk about how you have to force Fort Worth into being a one-dimensional team, and maybe it's about getting pressure about that quarterback as well. It might not just be eliminating the rush game. It might be eliminating that potent pass offense and get Marcus Dunhill to the ground.
It's the 2 outside linebackers, Slyn Shady and Gary Clem, combining in on the stop. It's a loss of 2, and now Dunhill has to throw again. It's a quick hitter over the middle, caught by Hacker, and he is quickly taken down.
Yeah, and I feel like in certain situations that we've seen this season, if you can push Fort Worth back on first down, they kind of scramble in the next couple plays. It's because it's an unorthodox situation for them. They're so used to moving forward, because then when they start moving backwards, they have to adjust.
And it's a 3rd and long. They will have to adjust. Dunhill will look to throw. Four-man rush pass into coverage. It bobbles over two offensive players, hits the leg of Cade Stevens, and the follow-up catch cannot be hauled in, and it will be fourth down. And it looks like Fort Worth going to try a long field goal.
Yeah, 49-yarder for Amelia Rose. I believe that'll be her longest this season. Yes, her longest made was 47 earlier a few weeks back.
This one from 49. It will hook in, and it will go through the uprights. 13-0. The Toros have a two-score lead as we close out the first quarter.
Yeah, not a bad way for Louisiana to stop that drive. And we can go back and say this could potentially have been 21-0 at this point, but they've limited these two drives to field goals. But you have to also think to yourself, Louisiana needs to force Fort Worth into 0-point plays, or 0-point drives, I would say. And
this kickoff will be taken down back in the end zone by Chris Grant Jr., and so the Revolution will start on their own 20-yard line. And now here comes the Revolution offense once more. The one thing they're able to really do on offense is run the ball effectively. That's their strength, averaging close to 100 rush yards a game. Tonight so far, at least here in the first quarter, it just hasn't gone that way to this point, though it is still early. Split backfield. Utah will pitch right. Here comes Cameron Collier, the league leader in average yards per carry. He picks up 4 on first down.
yeah, and that's probably their longest play so far in this game for Louisiana. Fort Worth has given Louisiana a tough time just kind of moving forward at this stage, and Louisiana needs to find something to exploit on the Fort Worth defensive side.
It is the longest run of the day so far. They've had 3 of them going for 1 yard, minus 5 yards, and 4 yards. And that pass is the longest pass of the game. First double-digit gain for the Revolution. Levy Lease hauls it in for a first down.
And this is what Tommy Utah needs to do. He needs to huck that rock down the field. It can't be checkdowns. It can't be, safe plays. There shouldn't be any conservatism coming from Louisiana's offense. It needs to come from, the long pass. And Tommy Utah needs to be ready to sling that rock deep.
Now Utah buoyed with confidence after that last completion is going to try and go to the air again. Rolling, under pressure, middle, and that one is dropped by Mike Twinscrew. There was a lot of Toros in the area. That might have had something to do with it.
Yeah, that probably was. When you have the pressure of 2 Fort Worth defenders breathing down your neck, it's tough to make a catch. And he was not in the right body position with that as well to try to get a nice haul in. So that also takes a little bit of credit as well.
I'll introduce you to the Toros defense quick. Jeff Duffy, Jared Egon, Luther Gahn, John Nevels are the defensive linemen. J.L. Browning, Sonny Sky, and E.K. Vincent, the linebackers. Remington James, Aiden Davis, Adam Leach, and Tobias Gordon on the corners, with Delaney Nash and Ben Stone at safety. 2nd and 10, 22 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. Utah again looking middle. It's just out of the outstretched arms of Collier, and it brings up 3rd and long.
Yeah, a little bit interesting to see Cameron Collier as a receiving fullback, but they've used him in some efforts this season. He's only got himself 9 receptions to his name, but he can get downfield fast. He is one of those receiving options that can be a threat if need be.
Back-to-back incompletions for Utah. Now it's 3rd and 10. Utah will roll near side, unloads, and that is caught by Denaro at the 46-yard line. That moves the chains, and that keeps this drive alive.
Yeah, a big play for Louisiana. Get that through. Nice coverage, nice protection from the offensive line, as well as Dwayne Salmons to get in on a block as well to give Utah the time to throw that rock.
And that'll bring us to the end of the first quarter here from the Stockyards in Fort Worth. 13-0. The Toros lead over the Louisiana Revolution. You're watching Week 12 Simulation Football League here on YouTube. Welcome back here to the Stockyards in Fort Worth, Texas. Tyler Falk and Brett Solberg here on the call. Happy to have your company here this Saturday evening. Special thanks to Andy Hamilton and Declan O'Rourke in the stats truck. And of course, we'll be hearing from Cameron Irvine, the SFL commissioner, with updates from Jacksonville as the Jacksonville Kings take on the Florida Storm. And that little pitch play to Collier means just only 2.
And you think between a running back and a defensive end, the running back would be able to kind of breeze on by. But Jared Egon has that unsuspecting speed to get to running backs on stretch plays to basically limit that from a potential first downer to 2 yards.
Utah rolling. He's got pressure coming from behind, but gets rid of it, and that is caught by Twin Screw. Another first down for the Revolution on a gain of 8.
Hey, this is a confidence-building drive from the Louisiana offense, because your first 2 drives ended in quick 3 and outs. You're finally getting that pass going. You're getting a little bit of the run going. Not a lot of carries so far, a lot of passes, which I don't mind. You're down 13 at this point. You need to show some teeth, and those teeth are showing.
From the 35-yard line of Fort Worth, Louisiana's best drive of the game continues to roll on. It will continue with a run, left side, and a bruising shoulder from Dwayne Salmons gains him.
Yeah, and there's been huge talk this season amongst the league about how we talk about the salary payments for Dwayne Salmons and Chris Grant Jr. and how they need to show more productivity. Sometimes, you know, you need something like that. You need to just put someone on the ground to show you're worth that money.
2 tight end, 2 back set. They try and run this time with Chris Grant Jr. and nothing doing as the Toros flood the hole. It's a great tackle from Delaney Nash.
Yeah, we see this a lot from the Fort Worth defensive line, is that they give opportunities for the linebackers to shore up the gap by kind of closing it in as much as possible so that the running backs have a tough time breaking through, and then the linebackers can get to them on tackles.
3rd and 6. The Revs have converted already on a 3rd down this drive. Can they do it again? Yes, they can. De Niro, Mr. 3rd down, who caught the last 3rd down catch, catches another one. It's a first down.
Yeah, and again, Louisiana starting to find some fire underneath them in terms of the offense. They're getting those open looks from the receivers, just enough space between them and the defenders, which is getting just enough for them to move the chains, and that's all it's about, just getting first downs, moving down the field.
They know how much this game means to their season. They have to win. Just look at the total yards, those first 2 drives ending in 3 and outs. Now, most of those yards coming on this drive alone. Back to pass. Utah finds the open receiver, Adam Banks, and it's 1st and goal, Revolution.
And when you have about 7 people blitzing on the quarterback, there's going to be the secondary that's going to back up just in case. And then you have wide open receivers, which is why Utah had just enough time. It wasn't a lot, but they had just enough time to sling that rock over, get the pass to Adam Banks, and now it's 1st and goal.
4 straight completions thrown by Utah. This is what we wanted to see out of the Revolution signal caller. 1st and goal from the 8-yard line as he's back to pass again. Looking near side and incomplete. Little bit of bumping and shoving down there. Levy Lease tried to get around the linebacker and couldn't.
Yeah, precisely so. A little bit of a jostling for the right position on there, which maybe had a little bit of an advantage to the linebacker, might be a little bit stronger than Lease. So unfortunately, once that pass was going off, Lease couldn't get to it.
Wide now here for the Revolution. 3 wide receivers to his left, 1 to his right, and they'll hand off in the direction the wide receivers providing great blocking for Salmons, and it's a gain of about 5 yards for the tailback.
Yeah, and they'll take that because that was a play that could have been stopped right at the line. But like you said, the wide receivers on that left side did good enough blocking to help push forward that run game to get the yards necessary.
14th play of the drive, and this one has to go to the end zone. It'll be a run, left side. Grant Jr. gets through one and dives into the end zone. Touchdown, Revolution. It's Chris Grant Jr.
You couldn't have asked for a better drive from Louisiana in response to Fort Worth hitting you with gut shot, haymaker, and gut shot on their first 3 drives. Louisiana calmed things down, and they went with their strengths. They trusted in Tommy Utah to sling that rock, and then they finished it off by getting Chris Grant Jr. his first touchdown of the season. Utah was sharp, running game was sharp, blocking was sharp. Louisiana's back in this one.
They don't ask you when you get it, just how you get it. Left it all the way to week 12 to pick up touchdown number 1, and it gives the Revolution a sight and a way back in this game. It's now 13-7. The Toros still out in front. Liking the game so far? Smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. The SFL produces over 400 events a year. There is no one else that gives you more football. Don't miss a minute of SFL or SFLM action and help the channel grow through your support. The kickoff deep into the end zone, and that will be an easy kneel down decision for Lili Nakai, and the Toros will start this next drive from their own 20-yard line. It's been a couple of good drives here for the Toros, able to score on their first 3 possessions, and now after Louisiana's touchdown, they'll need to do it so again to regain that 2-score lead. They start with a run with Bacon, who got a couple of good blocks before being sandwiched after a gain of 9. In on the stop, leading the way, Dante Graham.
And you can see that there's no panic in the eyes of these Fort Worth offensive players. They saw Louisiana go down the field, take care of a lot of time to get that touchdown, so they gave them enough time to calm themselves and get ready for their own drive. Their focus has always been, what can we do to further get more points? And J.Z. Bacon starts off that drive with 9 yards.
2 tight ends near side as Dunhill changes the play at the line. Doesn't like what he sees out of this 3-4 look from the Revolution, and they try and go with a run with Baker and nothing doing. In on the stop again, it's Dante Graham, and it's 3rd down.
Yeah, they have to trust on those secondary players that don't get pursued on the line to stop Bacon on the stretch runs, and Graham did a great job to get off his position and focus on getting to Bacon before the 1st down.
5 men on the line for the Revolution defense. Linebackers expecting for something from the outside, but Bacon goes through the middle, and it's an easy 1st down here for the Toros.
Yeah, you ain't kidding there. If the replay ever comes up, I don't think it will, but you could probably fit a whale between the gap that the offensive line gave J.Z. Bacon for that 1st down.
Closing in on the halfway mark of this 2nd quarter. Toros driving back toward midfield again. Try go with Baker, who gets out from behind his tackle finally and gains a yard before Grimm with another tackle.
Yeah, they're kind of using Dante Grimm in multiple positions on different sets here in this game, and going right back to, playing that free safety position. But right now he's pursuing the running back really well.
Second down here for Fort Worth. They've possessed the ball far more than the Revolution have in this ball game as Dunhill unloads into double coverage, somehow finding his man, E.J. Minson, 1st down.
Yeah, that's a tough ball to kind of get through, because you'll see Minson well covered between 2 defenders, especially with Evan Arthur right in front, and you also had, I think, Tank Bennett on the behind as well. That's a well-covered E.J. Minson, but he still finds a way to snag that football.
And now from the logo, 1st and 10 here for Dunhill. 4-man rush. Dunhill has time. Looking middle. Caught open is Stephen Hacker at the 35-yard line. Another 1st down of the Toros as they continue this impressive streak of solid offense.
Yeah, it just seems like whenever they get stifled in a situation where they get stopped in a certain area, they've got to counter the next play, and that is just wide open Stephen Hacker, where Rolliman Hood has to come in out of his position to get the stop. Not before the first down, though.
On average, the Toros are just above league average, converting, usually having around 17.5 first downs per game. And it just continues to show what kind of offense this team is here, Brett, as they continue with first downs again. 8 so far in the ball game here tonight.
Yeah, they just continue, like they're trying to find a counter to what Louisiana just did so they can get themselves more ball possession, because the name of the game this season has been time possession.
One-handed snag by E.J. Minson for a good little gain.
Yeah, now we're starting to see like really where these receptions are coming from for both Minson and Hacker. And right now, I believe it's 6 of the 8 completions that Dunhill has made have either been to Hacker or Minson.
And Dunhill now closing in on the 150-yard passing mark in this first half. Revolution have yet to find a counter for him. And off right side, Bacon, and he will be dragged down from behind. Welbeck, Bussy, and Dante Grimm combine. And it's fourth down.
And again, Louisiana stopping a drive that looks to be touchdown bound and forcing Amelia Rose to a non-guaranteed field goal, this time from 42.
From the right hash. Made one from 49 early in the ball game. Snap, spot, kick is up, and it is good. 16-7 now. Toros add a little bit more to that lead. They lead by 9.
Yeah, but we also have to look at from a Fort Worth aspect. Every drive that they've had have led to scores of some points. So Louisiana has to find a way to stop them and force them to 0-point drives, like I stated earlier in the game.
With how well the Revolution offense moved the football on the last drive, we're hoping for more of the same on this ensuing possession. As Rose boots it deep downfield, this will be a chance for return here for Chris Grant Jr. getting his first touchdown of the season. On that last drive, he gets the return all the way up to the 28-yard line. That is where the Revolution offense will set up shop here to begin this next drive.
If you're in the mind of Louisiana, you have to think to yourselves, we can't be a one-drive wonder in this game. You have to replicate. You have to find a way to get down the field again.
And they're going to try and get down the field in a hurry. No backs in the backfield for Utah. He will look to pass, and he's quickly gobbled up in the backfield. Nothing that the Revolution front four could do. Luther Gunn comes up with the sack.
And now the brothers Gone have a sack to share themselves with as Luther gets involved himself. And like I said, the defensive line finds ways to break through and get to the quarterback.
And that will bring us to the 2-minute warning here in this one. It's 16-7, Toros out in front. What can the Revolution do after the sack? You're watching the SFL on YouTube. Four wide now, here for Tamayuta. Unlike last time, he has Wayne Sammons in the backfield to maybe help block. Instead, he goes off for a pass protection, and Utah over the middle. It hits the hands of Adam Banks, and it falls incomplete.
Now the second instance that Banks had an opportunity to catch that football and gain a first down in this first half for Louisiana. But alas, it does not work, and now Louisiana has a 3rd and 15 just to get to a first down.
They have to get beyond or close to the 40-yard line. De Niro in motion. He's been money on third downs here on this first half. I wonder if they look his way. 4-man rush. Utah looking near side. Caught.
Open.
Instead, they go to twin score, and he fumbles the football. But because he had possession of the ball, it will be a first down, and the Revs will maintain possession.
A very favorable fumble forced that kind of bobble to the sidelines. But look at, again, just the open opportunity that Twin Screw can get. And that's against a guy like I believe it was Delaney Nash on that secondary help. We got to remember, he's the former MVP Delaney Nash, so that's a tough guy to cover against, and he found his way to get open.
Good catch and run for Twin Screw. Gain of 25 yards in the last play as Chris Grant Jr. gets the call, and he gains 8 yards. They will elect to play a little bit of clock management here in the 2-minute drill.
Yeah, I like that because they've passed the ball a lot over the last couple drives, and they haven't really had the ball run down the ground a little bit, and now it's just a little bit of a subtle reminder to Fort Worth is like, hey, we can run this ball too.
High formation, it'll be a run for Salmons with a wide open space in front of him, but he is clotheslined after picking up the first down.
And now they're truly playing the clock management game. Now that they're in enemy territory, they can kind of hurry things up like they are right now, but they don't have to be afraid on whether or not to run or pass. They run it again.
They try and run with CGJ. Only gains a couple, and now the Revolution will take their first time out and try to reset here.
Yeah, just a small gain for them. I don't think they wanted to go hurry up in that formation, so I don't mind them taking the first time out. Time is on their side still. They still have a little bit over a minute left, if I'm not mistaken, to get down the field and score a touchdown.
4 wide here for Tommy Utah. Here on 2nd and 7. He will look to throw, looking middle. It's tipped up in the air off the back of a defender. Incomplete. Excellent athleticism from Adam Leach to get his hand up initially.
Yeah, a designed quick hit from Louisiana that was just well covered by what looked to be like a pseudo zone play from Fort Worth to have the linebackers in one position and then the corners still trying to cover a little bit, but in their own area, and that's why you saw 2 deflections.
4 wide receiver look here on 3rd down. They've already converted once with a 25-yard catch to Twin Screw. They're going to need another little bit of heroics here. Utah left side, caught by Twin Screw. A gain of 9 and another Revolution first down.
They've been really converting well on this 3rd down, especially in the 2nd quarter. They found a way to kind of break through, and the big key is getting in front of the Fort Worth secondary and being a big, just like Stephen Hacker does, being a big enough body to get, to get those catches.
8 first downs here for the Revolution. They only average about 14 a game. This, a much better offensive performance for the Revolution. As they look to go again, Utah left side, snagged down, and inside the 10 rolls. Wow. Twin Screw, 1st and goal Revolution. They call their final timeout.
And you have to give Louisiana credit on these 2 drives in the 2nd quarter. They have put the heat on Fort Worth after getting hit really hard by their 4 drives defensively and allowing scores. But that bend but don't break has given Louisiana enough opportunity to make this a spicy game in this first half.
From the 8-yard line, Utah rolling, scanning, and now letting go, but it's deflected at the line. Incomplete.
And not a bad idea, at least for Utah, to kind of throw that ball out. He was about 5 or 6 yards behind the line of scrimmage, so taking a sack would have been detrimental to their cause. So just slinging that rock and just hoping for a wayward hand to bop it down ain't that bad.
11th play of the drive here for the Revolution. Now there'll be a quad look to the right-hand side as Utah ushers out Dwayne Salmons. Back to pass, looking near side, couldn't haul it in. Twin Screw had it, but he couldn't hold on.
It was a nice idea, kind of aim low so that the defenders weren't going to be ready for it. It just slipped out of the hands of Twin Screw, and another 3rd down for Louisiana, and this one is the biggest of them all in this first half. They need to score to keep up with Fort Worth.
Utah will go in the gun. Our first look at the shotgun formation tonight. Gennaro in motion. They're 8 yards from the end zone. A score to make it interesting. Utah loses the football, and it's picked up. The Toros with a massive play on third down. Jerry DeGond hauls in the loose football.
And it was Hiccups Vincent, EK Vincent coming in on that right side attack. And you'll see it, there was attempt of a block, but Vincent is way too fast for the offensive lineman. Just as Utah was about to sling that rock, he gets hit, and that's what causes the fumble. And just like that, oh, look at this here.
This will be interesting. The booth wants to take a second look at it, so again, we will take a retroactive look at the play presented by Retroid. Get your SFL console at GoRetroid.com. Under the hood we go.
And there, Garrett's going to see whether that ball was moving forward or not. If his arm was moving forward before the fumble, that one's going to be a tough call. I think the play will stand regardless. It's that one's super tough.
They're going to say his arm was moving forward. It's an incomplete pass for Tama Utah, and that means the Revolution can try for a field goal. You might need a microscope or super slow-mo to see if his arm is moving forward.
Yeah, like I said, that's got to be a split second of difference between whether that's behind his head or ahead of his head. And now Otis Boudreau gets a chance to make this a 6-point game before half.
Snap spot, kick is up, and instead of it being Fort Worth football, it's a Louisiana field goal that brings the scoreline back to within just one touchdown. 16-10 Toros.
And big break for the Revolution. They know they need to bring it to a Fort Worth team that's looking to win the proverbial Tex-Mex division that's no longer Tex-Mex inclusive. At the end of the day, this is good. This is a fun first half.
Well, I mean, we can just ad-lib onto it, right? We got Tex-Mex Bayou, maybe?
That'll work,
Tex-Mex Bayou division? I think that works.
Cajun Tex-Mex?
Ooh, that's even better. I like that.
Hey.
We have to get that approved from Ramos. We have to get that approved from Luis and Ross and everybody down here. Maybe Mike Dangs needs to approve it. But, for now, Cajun Tex-Mex. I like it. I like it. 38 seconds to go here in the first half of play. And the Toros will try and run out the clock as Bacon gets the call up the middle. He gains only about 3 yards before Evan Arthur takes him down, and the clock will roll.
Yeah, I think Fort Worth just needs to cool themselves off. Very controversial booth review seen by some in this second quarter. Just get yourself to the locker room, adjust what you need to, because Louisiana definitely took it to you in the second quarter.
Late handoff, and nothing doing for Charlie Baker. He gains maybe only a yard. No, he's going to lose a yard. Great tackle put on display, as that will bring us to the end of the first half. It's only a 6-point lead, partner, in our second game this night, where a division title is on the line, and this one a much closer one than I think even the non-committed spectators were expecting.
Yeah, and you have to admit, after this first quarter, you were probably thinking to yourself, this could be a rout for Fort Worth, but something clicked in the Louisiana offense where they just moved down the field, took it to their own pace, and got themselves within a score. Get this as a fact, Tyler. 27 of their 35 plays total in this half came from their 2 drives in the second quarter, and that is how they've gotten back in this game. They've given Fort Worth not a chance to get this ball in the second quarter. They gave themselves an opportunity to bring this game close to level. They were close to making this 16-14, but they got the field goal, and now it's a 6-point matchup heading to the third quarter.
So we welcome you back to the Stockyards here in Fort Worth, Texas. I'm Tyler Falk alongside Brett Solberg in the booth with me. Back in the stats truck, it's Andy Hamilton and Declan O'Rourke. Thank you, gentlemen, for all your hard work so far. More fantastic live stats are going to come in the last 2 quarters, maybe even extra time here this evening. And a special thanks to SFL Commissioner Cameron Irvine, as here we go to begin half number 2 here from Texas. As here comes Chris Grant Jr. from his own goal line as he tries to escape the pressure and finally taken down at the 27-yard line. Meanwhile, partner, our game going over in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. It's the Jacksonville Kings in Florida. Well, I should say it should be Fort Lauderdale because right now Florida's winning 14-0. And O.J. Bruin, 1 of 11 passing in the first quarter. They have not run the football, and the Kings, it just hasn't been their season in their franchise finale.
Yeah, about the 2-minute mark has passed in the second quarter, and Florida's already at 160 yards of total offense. It's just been a Florida showcase at this point.
Utah looking right for the narrow, caught for 4 yards.
And right now, Louisiana's doing everything that needs to be right in terms of offensively. They found that perfect balance. We'd start off with 39 yards in the first quarter. They got 108 in the second quarter. A lot of it was by the pass. 83 of the 108 yards were by the pass, but they found something that was working against this Fort Worth defense, and they want to continue pushing this into the third.
10 first downs in that half. Pass middle, caught, make it their first down of the second half, and 11 in total. A good catch from Levy Lease.
Yeah, and again, it's not about just one guy getting all the love. It's a lot of people getting involved. Levy Lease now with the second reception. Dinero and Twin Screw both have 4. Adam Banks and JMS are all involved in it as well. It hasn't been a one-man show so far from the Louisiana receiving corps.
There was 6 down linemen. Now the linebacker backs off on that far side.
I'm looking at Sonny Sky over on that far left side of the defense. He might be looking to pass rush here.
She might come off the edge where one of the tight ends lays. No, she backs up in coverage as Utah looks to throw in that direction. Caught Leach again as he runs through Adam Leach and picks up a first down again.
And Sonny Sky did indeed back up to be on coverage, but then she kind of stayed in her area, which kind of led to a zone being called for the linebackers, and that led to Lease being open just in that little pocket of space between the linebackers and the safeties. And again, Levy Lease gets another first down for Louisiana.
Lease with a solid game today, already his 3rd reception, and he's had all of his receptions this season coming into tonight's game. 8-yard pickup for Dinero.
Man, and there's been some composure coming in from Tommy Utah. Did you see the 2 interior linemen basically smothering Utah before he slung that rock? Fort Worth is bringing the heat, but Utah is staying cool and composed.
Utah 14 of 24. That's a 58.3 completion percentage. Utah has not had a completion percentage above 50% since February 5th. That game coming against Mexico City. And that's a good run by Salmons, which continues to have the chain gang keep moving down the field.
And we have to remember, this was the Mexico City game that ended up in a 19-13 victory and was supported by that Louisiana defense, which right now the defense has been very much doing bend but don't break to help out Louisiana.
And rush, Utah looking near side, caught, trying to stand up as Banks, and they'll say he stepped out after he got up. It's a pickup of 6.
Hey, they'll take 6 yards on first down, especially because that opens up the playbook for second down. And again, trusting in that pass game. And, you know, we haven't seen a lot of teams in this league be pass heavy, in games such as this. But facing a Fort Worth team that hit you with 10 straight or 13 straight on the go, this is how you do it with the pass.
9 men in the box here for the Toros as the Revolution line up in a heavy set. Now with trips to the right for the tight ends, they go the other direction, and Salmons is denied. A loss of 1 on the play. A fantastic tackle and excellent pursuit on the ball carrier by J.L. Browning. The loss of 1.
Yeah, you still have to mix that run and pass to get that defense second guessing themselves. And I don't mind that because then you can, free things up potentially on third down to sling this rock. And I'm looking at that slot receiver, Twin Screw.
Split backfield, Utah going to look to pass on 3rd and 4. Pass near side, nearly taken away. That could have been Aiden Davis back to the barn. Instead, it's 4th down.
And if I'm Louisiana, I'd say with this field position, 44-yarder for Otis Boudreau. I think he can nail this one if you're confident in him.
A 3 to bring him within 3 of the Toros. 44 yards from near the left hash. Snap, spot. Kick is up, and it is good. 16-13 now as the Revolution, Don't call it a comeback just yet, but they are inching closer to the Toros.
Yeah, and that was, just, again, another great drive from Louisiana. Their first drive of this game, and they shut off 3.5 minutes on that clock to really move down the field. It's great work from Louisiana to really just pick at this deficit and come back.
How will the Toros respond with their first drive of the second half? Here comes Charlie Baker on the return. He tries to run right through everybody up the middle, and Aaron Kapman turns him inside out at the 33-yard line.
And if you're Fort Worth, you're not really worrying about what Louisiana's offense is doing. You just keep doing what you've done best in this game. You've got 200 yards of total offense through the first half. I bet you can replicate it again. But if you're Louisiana, you find that one dimension to shut down and force Fort Worth's hand.
Right now, with Marcus Dunhill's passing, he's only targeted E.J. Minson and Stephen Hacker. 8 passing receptions hauled in, 6 of them by Hacker and Minson combined, but this one is hauled in by Cade Stevens, and Stevens streaks forward to near the 40-yard line of the Revolution.
A sneaky little route for Stevens to get involved. He was kind of that unsuspecting third option on the route as well. He just slips by the 2 linebackers and gives no opportunity for anyone else to have an open look. And Dunhill did the right thing, slung it to him, and then got the yak, a couple extra yards per the catch.
That's Cade Stevens' second reception of the ball game now. I formation behind Dunhill. Handoff, Baker, left side. He tries to spin out of a tackle and cannot, but he does pick up the first down even before Rolleman Hood could hit him.
Yeah, and it looks like Fort Worth's counters to kind of speed things up a little bit here. They know they're not going to get a lot of time with this football with how Louisiana's dictating it, but they still have the lead, and if they can score, you might as well just power it through as quickly as you can.
So back to the line they come. Here is the down marker. Sticks around on 1. Dunhill underneath. It is incomplete. A little bit of missed timing, maybe a little bit of miscommunication at the line. And it's second down.
Yeah, I would guess that's a little bit of miscommunication because I don't think there's a receiver near the vicinity. Maybe there was some jostling between a receiver and corner, but I couldn't really see who the target was supposed to be on that play.
I believe it was Hacker coming across the middle of the field, and now it's 2nd and 10. Corner black blitz, no. Pass over the left-hand side, looking for Stevens, incomplete. Tight coverage on the slot receiver, and it brings up 3rd and long.
Yeah, a little bit debatable whether or not that's pass interference because there was a lot of fighting between him and Gary Clem, who was going to be on that outside coverage. Very interesting that it led to an incompletion.
4 wide receivers here for Dunhill as he's under center with trips off to his left. He will look to pass, launches it into tight coverage, and it's again incomplete. The Louisiana Revolution defense stepping up in a big way.
And again, bend but don't break and make sure that they end up with as little points as possible. And again, it's forcing a situation where they're going to have to kick a field goal again from 49 for Amelia Rose.
Already hit from this same distance earlier in the ball game. For her 4th field goal of the night, it is up and it is good. The lead is back out to 6. It's 19-13. Toros in front of the Revolution. The 2024 SFL convention is headed to South Shore Harbor Resort in League City, Texas, just south of Houston, July 12th through the 14th. Featuring live games, flag football, a golf tournament, tailgate, pool party, and more. For all the convention details, visit simulationfl.net/news/convention to reserve your room, see the event details and schedule, and so much more. As Chris Grant Jr. receives the kickoff in his own end zone and decides he's not going to take it out of there, takes a knee, and the Revolution set to begin another drive from their own 20-yard line as this Revolution offense partner looks much more composed. It looks much more complete than it ever has all season long.
But they can't put the foot off the gas pedal. They are only down 6. They need to find pay dirt with one of these ensuing drives.
5:20 due in the third quarter as Utah will go back to pass. Looking right side, it is in and out of the hand of John Michael Sudduth.
And it's a good first play from Tommy Utah. Essentially, a little bit of a warning throw from Fort Worth, saying, "I'm not going to be afraid to throw these babies deep and to the sidelines. So be wary of it." It wasn't the end result that he wanted, but at least it keeps Fort Worth on notice.
Another passing play. Utah looking near side, caught on the shoestrings by Sudduth. Gains 3, and that will ease matters on third down, perhaps.
Again, changing the levels of eyesight for the defenders. They went long and then the sidelines for the first play. Then they go opposite side and short on the second play. Maybe this will set up for something to be open on third down.
They've converted 5 of their 9 third downs. This is their 10th attempt. Utah looking near side, incomplete. Just a bit too far for Adam Banks. He couldn't get to it, and it's fourth down.
Yeah, and you know what? I don't mind that play call from Louisiana. It's going to result in a 3 and out, and now they have to trust in their defense to make a stop. And we're talking full stop, not limit Fort Worth to 3. We're talking about 0 points. This will be a big defensive drive for Louisiana's defense.
Vita Lee on his own 8-yard line punts this one away. It's a good punt. Back to near the 43-yard line of the Toros, and the return from Stevens gets all the way up to his own 48-yard line. And it's the defenses which have been able to get in the backfield. Not too many passes defended here, partner. Only 3 to speak of, as it's been more miscommunication rather than his defense is making a play.
Yeah, out of the 29 passes, there's only been 3 pass deflections on Fort Worth's side. Tommy Utah's done well to limit chances for turnovers.
Dunhill trying to do the same as he hands off the football to J.Z. Bacon, who picks up 8 yards. A good little run that moves him across midfield.
Yeah, not a lot of carries as we expected from Jay-Z, but he's still getting the yards necessary. 10 carries, now it's 64 yards officially. You still want to have, that 4 to 6 yards per carry from your running back.
Second and short, high formation here for the Toros. It'll be a QB sneaker as Dunhill will slide for the first down. And we're not in the baseball stadium, but he's playing like a second baseman sliding into second.
Safe.
And that's all he's said about that. 19-13, under 4 to play here in the third quarter. 1st and 10 now here for the Toros. Dunhill looking to throw, 6-man rush, pass intercepted. Dunhill overthrows the first mistake of the ball game, looking for Hacker, and it's an opportunistic Evan Arthur that hauls in the pick.
This is how you stop Fort Worth. You get Dunhill to turn the ball over, which has been the story for Dunhill this season. Now his 20th interception this season. That has been one of the marks of kryptonite for Fort Worth's offense, and Louisiana finds a way. They get the stop, now to take advantage of it.
Dunhill does now have 20 touchdowns on the season, now also has 20 interceptions. It's the give and take of Marcus Dunhill this season as Collier gets the pitch and gains 6.
And right now, six yards is good enough for Louisiana's offense. They, again, want to get to that pace. They want to dictate the game themselves. We've seen this in the second quarter. We saw it in their first drive in the third quarter. 14 plays, 13 plays, 9 plays. They want to get back to what was right instead of 3 and outs.
Tight end look, pitch play near side. Salmons with a plenty of open hole as he stiff arms one, but a great second effort tackle from Swift. Denies, or check it, that's Ben Stone who takes him down.
Yeah, almost got the first down, and that was definitely a great lunging tackle from Ben Stone to make the stop. 3rd and inches ahead for Louisiana.
All they need is a yard as the Toros defense splits open An easy run up the gut could potentially get him, and they do. Chris Grant Jr. with a first down to the left-hand side.
And here's what we haven't seen a lot from Louisiana. Third straight run in a row, and it's by 3 different carriers. It started with Collier, then it was Salmons, and then Grant Jr. gets the first down.
Changing the eye level, changing the tactic and how you bring down. You have to bring down a bruising fullback, then a couple speed backs, and a good balance back. And now the pitch play near side, going nowhere as Noah Scott is taken down by J.L. Browning.
Yeah, and now it's time for Louisiana to shake things up. We've seen all 4 contracted running backs now get involved, and here we see a trips to the left.
Down, just over 2 minutes to go as Utah will roll, has time, now unloads, and is caught at the 45-yard line. Adam Banks amends his past incompletions and hauls in a first down catch.
Yeah. And Banks has had a lot of looks and hasn't been super successful in this game. Just his 3rd catch on his 8th target. But sometimes if you just try that well enough, it's going to pay off. And you saw it right there. Banks getting in front of his corner and getting the catch.
Utah under center. No one behind him. 4-man rush looking right side. It is incomplete. The hit on Salvatore Napoli just too great for him to keep concentration.
Yeah, and that was going to be a tough catch from the get-go for Salvatore, but he did his darnest to, preserve the catch while getting hit from behind.
Now everyone but Tyler Gregory at least has a target. As Utah back to throw, looking side, and twin screw hauls it in double coverage. Another brilliant catch. It goes for 9.5.
Yeah, and that looked to be Adam Leach and Delaney Nash, both on Mike Twin Screw, and Twin Screw manages to haul in the football. That is strength exemplified.
18 of 32 now for Utah. 191 yards, and there's a QB sneak. Utah puts his body on the line and picks up the first down.
Yeah, putting a little bit of Dunhill in his life and sneaking himself, saying, anything you can do, I can do as well. First down, Louisiana.
The Revs drive continues. This is getting exciting here late. 9th play of the drive. It's a pitch play near side for Collier, and he destroys. It's 21-on-21 crime, and Collier overpowers Stone this time.
To take it from one of my commentary fellows, Ben Stone, welcome to the Shadow Realm.
And he's lucky to get back out of it here on this second down play. Split backfield behind Utah with 3 wide receivers. Another run up the gut, and this time it's the second fullback, Scott. And Noah Scott getting involved here in the 3rd quarter.
And again, we look at how this drive is transpiring. 11th play of the drive. 4 of their last 5 drives have had 9 plays or more. Louisiana dictating the tempo of this game.
Blitz coming on 3rd down, flip out right side, and Samus looking for the corner. He's gotten to the 15 and knocked out of bounds at the 12. Fort Worth bit inside, and Utah wisely flips it out to the outside.
Yeah, fantastic work from Louisiana to just, like we stated earlier, just shift the line of sight with these defenders, and now they end the quarter in the right momentum.
Exciting conclusion headed your way when you come back. This is the SFL on YouTube.
Of the Simulation Football League is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or account of the game without the express written consent of the league office is prohibited.
4th quarter from the stockyards, and it's getting intense late. The Toros looking to secure the South Division. The Louisiana Revolution looking to keep their playoff hopes alive. Here tonight, they need a win. Toros need a win. The Revolution down by 6 with 10 minutes to go in regulation. I'm Tyler Folk, joined in the booth by Brett Solberg. Strap yourselves in. Here we go. Utah looks near side. It is how did that happen?
Watch out!
Going back the other way. Adam Leach.
No
He's
way!
From behind. Can De Niro or anyone else catch him? Adam Leach.
Good night.
The foot is gonna score a pick 6. Are you kidding me? Are you insane? This is the SFL!
My goodness. On a drive where it looked like Louisiana was gonna break their deficit and take the lead, one underthrown ball from Tommy Utah leads to a shoestring interception from Adam Leach, and he finds his way to slither around the opposing offense and get himself an open path on the left sideline for the pick six. Give him 98 yards for the pick six, and Fort Worth has a double-digit lead.
How many awkward bounces have we had tonight? Off of backsides of players, off of helmets, off of shins, and now it's a pick six off a foot. This is the wrong kind of football, he says, but I'll take it back the other way, and it's a 13-point lead for the Toros.
Man, oh man, oh man. We got ourselves a game in hand, and Louisiana's going to get this ball back. They got to have a short memory.
Now the Revs need to come back all the way back to the other end of the football field, and this time not throw interception, though it can be said it wasn't Utah's fault that time. Maybe a bit underthrown, but again, an unlucky bounce. They've had one call go their way, not so this time. Twinsker returns to the 26. As we want to remind you that the SFL is brought to you in part by APM Music. APM Music is unrivaled music to bring your stories to life, inspiring every production with the world's most robust and constantly refreshed music collection, state-of-the-art technology, and world-class customer service. APM Music is the official soundtrack of the Simulation Football League. To explore their library and to find the perfect tracks for your projects, visit apmmusic.com. Revs have to go 74 yards to get pay dirt. They pitch out left side for Sammons, and Sammons is speared behind the line for a loss of 2.
Yeah, that's a big hit by a big man in Aiden Davis. You know, we talk about corners in this league. They're a little bit bigger than you imagine, and Aiden Davis is one of those bigger corners, and he can lay out a hit.
Split backfield. Pitch play near side. Collier on the give, and Collier gains the yards lost, but no further. Delaney Nash lays the lumber on the fullback.
Yeah, and now it's kind of pushing Louisiana into something unorthodox, something they haven't seen a lot of since the first quarter, and that's going to be a third and long situation. Can they convert, which has been really good conversion for them so far in this game?
10th tackle for Delaney Nash, and that pass just a bit too high over Adam Banks. Incomplete. 4th down.
And yeah, a little bit overthrown, but I like the gutsiness of Tommy Utah still throwing the rock despite that last unfortunate pick six. He's got the confidence here tonight despite the interception. So it's great work to see that. You just got to hope for Louisiana's defense to stop Fort Worth once again.
Delaney Nash leading the charge for all defenders. He has more tackles than anyone else. That's more than double the next closest defender, with JL Browning at 5 as we go back to SFL headquarters in Cameron Irvine for a game break from Jacksonville.
Big turnovers in both games almost simultaneously. Florida's been dominating this game, but Chris Comisac, who has all 3 touchdowns in this one, fumbles that. John Patrick Levine with the scoop and nearly score as a lineman's girth was the only thing that kept Levine from getting down that sideline. Jacksonville has life, but they're still getting blanked. 21-0, trying to beat Florida for the first time in their last 11 matchups. Back to you.
Thank you, Cam. Offset eye behind Marcus Dunhill here. We'll probably see a lot of bacon as he gets by 1, but cannot escape the second tackle as he gains 7. And Hood's the man there.
And like you said, there's probably going to be a healthy feed of JZ Bacon carries. I wouldn't be too surprised if they split it between up the gut and on the outside. So I'm focusing on the Louisiana defenders that can shore them up as quickly as possible. Stop them at the line at this point.
2 tight ends right on 2nd down. 8 men in the box here for the Revolution, and the Toros will run that way with Baker, and Baker is denied by Dante Graham. stops them a few inches shy of the line to gain.
It was a good job from Louisiana's defense to try to shore up any blocking attempt so that at least one defender could get through, and Dante Grimm was the guy to get to Baker before the first down. Key third down for Louisiana's defense.
Again, 2 tight ends right. Again, 9 men in the box here for the Revolution. They try the same play, this time with Bacon, and Bacon is going to be able to pick up the first down.
And this is just going to be some hard-nosed, in-the-trenches football that we're going to see probably through the rest of Fort Worth's game, and I don't mind that whatsoever. Dunhill hasn't had to throw the ball that much. Fort Worth hasn't had the football that much offensively, but I don't think they mind. They're still up 13.
Running near side is Bacon, and Bacon is dragged down from behind after getting 5, and back over to Jacksonville just for a moment here, Brett. Now Jacksonville haven't scored in 6+ quarters, and they just went 3 and out after the turnover.
And it just continues to be woeful for Jacksonville. Just when you think that they have an opportunity to get over that hump, it's just they find ways, you know.
2nd and 5 here as Baker gets by Dante Grimm, but when Grimm can't bring down someone, Rollerman Hood can.
Yeah, and right now, Louisiana's doing just enough to kind of get Fort Worth guessing if they can keep pushing forward. But now this is another key third down if you're Louisiana's defense. For Fort Worth, you're focusing on trying to shed this clock away.
Revs defense changes it up as Dunhill changes the play at the line. 3rd and 3, 6.5 to go. They try and run up the middle with Bacon.
Oh.
He's trying to find space and is denied by Brian Craven and Chance Wall, and it's 4th down.
And the defensive line broke through and gave essentially that protection a lot of trouble, which helped out with JZ Bacon not getting ahead of the line and pushing them back. Key stop for Louisiana. This gives them a chance.
They have life. Still 6 minutes to play. Fair catch called for at the 19-yard line by Twin Screw, and he hauls that one in. Monday night, Cam and Mike break down the weekend that was on SFL this week and get you the most up-to-date playoff scenarios, followed by the 5-5 Atlanta Swarm headed down to Texas to face the 5-4 Houston Headhunters, a game full of postseason potential. See who every team plays down the stretch on our official website, simulationfl.net. And off, right side, gaining a couple is Salmons. And there's no SFL tomorrow. We usually have games on Sunday, but of course, tomorrow's Easter, so happy Easter, everybody. Hopefully you guys enjoy Easter with your friends and family. And now back to football. You're 2nd and 8 now after the 2-yard pickup.
Or if you're working, I hope you get some glorious time and a half.
There you go. Utah handoff left side. Grant Jr. nothing doing. Stood up at the line by Ike Vincent.
Now, while I can understand that Louisiana wants to keep that run game going a little bit and have Fort Worth guessing, you're down 2 scores at this point with about 5 minutes left to go. You need to trust in Tommy Utah, despite the woes over the last 10 pass attempts. He is 4 of 10, but he has been reliable for them when need be in long drives.
Fortunes need to change. Rolling is Utah and looking back across his body. Caught! Just beyond the 30-yard line to narrow. Mr. Third Down for the Revolution.
And he has been their key man in this game. Not a lot of yards to his name compared to Mike Twin Screw, but he has had those crucial catches to move the chains. Like you said, Mr. Third Down, and he has given guys like Ben Stone and Remington James a tough time to cover him.
Now under 5 minutes to play in regulation. Revs down by 2 scores. Blitz coming. Utah over the middle. And it's just been a couple of these just maybe errant passes, maybe footsteps from around these wide receivers, which turn these potential catches into drops.
No, and I can't discredit Tommy Utah for that throw. That was just John Michael Sudduth not having his hands in the right place. It went off the back of his hand and incomplete.
Now it's 2nd and 10. 4 wide for Utah. Rolling left side. Delayed blitz coming. Pass across his body. Count again at midfield. A beautiful throw from Utah to Banks. And it's first down, Revs.
This is why you don't stop trying to throw to your receivers if he's having a bad day. 4 receptions on 10 targets for Adam Banks, and you still trust him in situations like this. You need your playmakers to play, and that's what Adam Banks can bring to the table.
Now from midfield. Split back formation. Pitch play Collier. Left side gaining nothing. Aiden Davis is there.
Yeah, and again, Fort Worth kind of playing into my defensive strategy, force the other team into one-dimension scenario and try to stop them there. They've really eliminated that run game to very minimal gain.
Like a good Toro, Aiden Davis is there. 2nd and 10 now here for the Revolution as Utah sends Sunneth out to the slot left side. 4-man rush, Utah looking that way. It's deflected and incomplete. J.L. Browning sticks his mid up there and swats it aside. 3rd down.
Yeah, right man at the right place. He also had 2 defenders kind of closing in on the receiver as well. Very tough throw to make from Utah, but again, you have to have throws like this during crunch time when you're down 2 scores.
Empty backfield on 3rd down. Louisiana averaging 2.5 to 3 minutes per drive, but they got to get going. Utah unloads middle. One-handed snag by Mr. Clutch.
Give it to him.
Down. That
Give
is
it
the
to
nice
him.
hands catch of the game, brought to you by Retroid. Put a Retroid handheld in your hands like Rendo Donero and play the SFL. With your player in it. Add my Twinsker to the list. Are you kidding me? Back to back nice hands catch. Keep going, Louisiana. Another pass. This one more mundane for Twinsker inside the 20, and they continue to go back to the line.
Yeah, they're recognizing that they're in a favorable situation with 5 receivers out there.
Utah again will look to throw left side. Another beautiful catch. Adam Banks, Twinsker, and De Niro all get nice hands catches the game, all on this hurry-up drive. Little over 3 minutes to go. Utah looking to pass again. This one is incomplete. Oh, it's tight. It was tough. De Niro nearly hauled that one in.
Man, that was just a perfect, I would say, 30 seconds of football from Louisiana. They didn't have to do anything pretty, but they decided to make it pretty anyways with 3 one-handed catches in the span of those 30 seconds, and now they've got themselves inside the red zone. Get in the end zone, Louisiana.
4 wide receivers. You got to wonder how many of those receivers are tired. We see now Pat Johnson out there in replace of one of the starters as Utah looks left side. Oh, so close to being picked by Tobias Gordon.
Man, and that was just a right guy at the right place too. Tavius Gordon just had his hands on it. He just couldn't secure it. And if you're a Fort Worth fan, you probably would have said to yourself, that was the deal breaker. That could have gotten us the Cajun Tex-Mex title. But now Louisiana's got a 4th and 6.
This is the right decision. Going for it at the 16-yard line. They need to get past the 9. 4 wide receivers here for Utah. He rolls. He's scanning. He fires. It is incomplete. De Niro almost had it. Delaney Nash denies him. And it's a turnover on downs.
MVP players make MVP plays when it's needed the most. Again, we talk about Remington James getting beat by these receivers. He gets beat just enough, and then Delaney Nash comes in to save the day. Turnover on downs, and Fort Worth 2:55 away from winning the division.
Last 2 drives for the Revolution result in an interception, aka pick 6, and a turnover on downs. Now the defense has to step up. Pass nearly intercepted. Oh, the Revolution could have needed that one.
And look at that. It was Evan Arthur again who has the only interception for Louisiana, and that was a clear path to the end zone as well. How about a pick 6 for yourself as well? Louisiana bringing the heat defensively now because they know they have a chance.
Toros lead by 2 scores. 2 first downs, potentially give them the division. Handoff middle, denied. Brian Craven is there. third down.
Another big third down for Louisiana, which has been the story of this fourth quarter for Louisiana. If they can get the stop on third down, they have themselves another chance, and they might get themselves some pretty good field position with it as well.
It's still 21-0, Florida over Jacksonville in Jacksonville as they close in on the fourth and the third quarter. Kings only have 3 first downs. Meanwhile, combined here in this game, we have a total
35.
35. Third down, handoff, Bacon denied.
Wow.
Tank Bennett with the TFL as we hit the 2-minute warning. The Revs get their third crack at a drive in the fourth quarter. When we come back, the conclusion of this one, here from the Stockyards in Fort Worth, Texas.
You have got to give credit to Louisiana forcing Fort Worth to 2 of 9 on third down.
Tom Ruin's punt is away. And here comes Twin Screw out of a tackle, but denied as soon as he gets to the 44-yard line. This is it. This could very well be the Revolution season on the line. They have to score 2 touchdowns in the final minute 51 if they want to have a realistic shot at hoping for the postseason. It has to start now.
They have to find open pockets that Fort Worth is going to give you to get those completed passes. And I like this shift in formation here. Get Dinero on the other side.
Man-to-man coverage on the 4 wideouts from the DBs as Utah rolls, looking, deep shot caught inside the 30-yard line, holding by Adam Banks as the Revolution call their first timeout.
And again, trust on your guys that can make plays, and Adam Banks does it again. He gets himself involved in this offense by just getting in front of defenders, getting past defenders in certain points, and there was that open space that I talked about. Find the open pockets of space Fort Worth is going to open the field with.
Utah's been trying to hit the middle of the field more often than not here in the ball game. And it's worked all right. They're still down by 13. Utah blitz coming. Utah is sacked! Taken down from behind by Luther Gahn and John Nevels as the Revolution will call their second timeout.
Yeah, and with that second timeout, they really only have one more chance to stop the clock on their own. Aside from that, it's going to be a lot of sideline catches, but field position is their advantage at the moment. At the 29, no nonsense. Like I said, find the open space.
Utah likes to have trips on one side, but so often we've seen him usher either Dinero or now Banks in motion. Utah looking to throw over the near side, and Banks can't haul it in. Third down.
Now, when again, tough ball to catch when you're falling back and trying to catch the football with a defender right behind you. So I don't discredit Adam Banks for that, but this is a clutch moment. You've got to find your clutch receivers.
Salmon's in motion. Quads look near side. Utah under center. He's going to look to throw again. Deep shot. Caught Banks at the 11-yard line. They got to hurry because now they're out of timeouts.
And I don't mind that last timeout being called. There's still plenty of time. 92 seconds left on the game clock. That is big for Tommy Utah, though. He has been stellar all game, minus just one bobbled pass. He has been the X factor for Louisiana in this matchup.
They have no timeouts. They need a score. Utah rolling across his body. Oh! Banks! Touchdown! Revolution! But they're not done yet.
You talk about composure from teams that are down, that need to come back come back in even situations that are from early on, 13-0, 26-13. You find ways to still score under the pressure of the road, and Louisiana has found a way. Their offense has been alive in these 3 quarters of action, and it's just been all great work to dictate the game of pace, get the extra point, and get the special teams unit ready for an onside.
Extra point is up and good from Boudreau. Now the all-important onside kick. They're down by 6. They need a favorable bounce. 3rd time was the charm, but now they have to conclude it. They have to get the ball back. Here we go, onside kick. It is balled and hauled in, and by Baker, and Baker will bring it all the way to around the 27-yard line, and that will do it. The Revolution tried their hardest. They will fall to 3-7 here in the season, and the Toros will take the South Division for the 3rd straight season in a row.
And you have to give credit for Louisiana putting up a hell of a fight against a very game Fort Worth Toros, who deservedly win the South Division once again and have their eyes set on the playoffs with a bye week before potentially a playoff teaser in Baltimore, at Baltimore in week 14.
So the Revolution fall to 3-7. They play Jacksonville in Jacksonville next week. And then they finish out at home against the Houston Headhunters in week 14. They'll need both of those games to go their way just to save face. And maybe if things fall their way, they might go to the postseason, but it's looking very doubtful at the moment. The Toros, meanwhile, they get an extra week to celebrate. They're on a bye week next week before going to Baltimore to finish off their regular season. But it won't matter anymore. The Toros become the 4th team to clinch a division here this season. 4 out of the 5 divisions have been decided before week 13. The Toros have the highest strength of schedule, the highest strength of victory, and it shows their toughness, their tenacity on full display, and they win to get their 8th win of the season.
Yeah, and it's all credit to the Adam Leach pick 6 that got them over the hump in this game. If it did not happen, we might be speaking a different tune to this game.
One more final kneel down from the season 14 MVP, putting on a pretty good and great performance all around for the Toros. That is it. When you mess with the Toros, you get the horns. The Fort Worth Toros are your South Division champions in season 22.
And congratulations to Fort Worth. You've built yourself a fantastic team, and it is shown. Great passing game from Marcus Dunhill in that first half, and then they just trusted themselves on whatever they could get in that second half. You have to remember, they only got 5 minutes and 45 seconds of offensive football in the second half. Dominated by Louisiana in that second half, but they still found a way to get a defensive pick 6 as well as a field goal in the 3rd quarter, and that is the big key there. Louisiana had so many opportunities in the red zone, but it could only convert on 3 of those occasions. That is going to be a huge what-if moment for Louisiana coming out of this weekend. Could they have done it, barring a few different things heading their way? But the drops, the untimely pick 6 from Adam Leach that went 94 yards, as well as the early stops that came in Louisiana's way, which led to the 13-0 lead, led to this result. Congratulations to Fort Worth. They're moving on to the playoffs.
It could be called a mugging. Look at the stats. The Louisiana Revolution dominated the Toros, but it doesn't matter. They got the points to get in front of Louisiana, and that will do it. From Aaron Gooden and Declan O'Rourke in the stats truck, for Cameron Irvine back at SFL headquarters, and for my partner, Brett Solberg, I'm Tyler Falk. We'll see you Monday. Happy Easter, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. Bye-doo!